Well, folks, put on your thinking caps. A big event planned for next year aims to bring some of the brightest brainiacs in the whole country right here to Boston. Some big organizations with some bright minds put their heads together and came up with Hub Week. It's a project organized by Harvard, MIT, Mass General, and the Boston Globe, and it's scheduled for next fall. Now, we already know from Hub Week's executive director, Brendan Ryan, there will be participants from all over the country, and their goal is to sort of put their heads together and try to talk things out, come up with some creative ideas and solutions to big problems. Some are calling it the Olympics for big thinkers. I guess that would make Pub Week the Olympics for big drinkers. Anyways, remember back to this summer, one of the biggest stories of the year happening in the local area happened when market basket workers spent weeks out in the streets demanding their old boss, Arthur T. DeMoulis, be reinstated. His cousin shared part ownership in the company and fought for control of the chain in court, while protesters and employees alike demanded his resignation, and they got their wish. But with all of that time out of work, the grocery store chain lost a lot of money, a big financial hit. Most of the employees said it was a bittersweet victory, as many of them did not expect to see their annual Christmas bonus this year. Well, surprise, surprise, their loyalty to Arthur T. appears to have paid off. Wednesday morning, store managers surprised the employees when they showed up with checks in hand bearing the signature of Mr. DeMoulis. Hey, when you're out on the roads, you might see something new starting very soon. The state is starting to install flashing yellow arrows on some 350 intersections around the state. The hope is to cut down on the number of accidents where left turn arrows alone are not doing the job. MassDOT Chief of Highway Operations Tom Timlin says the yellow arrow will flash for a few seconds after the solid arrow and just before the arrow turns red. Now, he doesn't think it will encourage people to step on the gas. Instead, he says it gives people more time to get through that yellow light and hopefully eliminate people from racing through intersections at the last minute, creating a dangerous situation. Well, it took workers all day long, but they finally unearthed the time capsule from the State House. The new one, not the old one to be confused. Yes, there was a time capsule there too, but this one buried in 1795 by the then Governor Samuel Adams and Paul Revere. The small copper tin capsule, about the size of a cigar box, was in pretty good shape considering its age. Although Secretary of State Bill Galvin says there is some concern that the contents of that capsule may have some wear and tear. Newspapers and coins and other small artifacts are believed to be stored inside the box. But according to historians, some of the papers inside were dipped in acid years ago. Thursday's extraction took longer than just an ordinary day at the dentist. It was crews carefully chipping away at the underside of that State House cornerstone for longer than 7 hours. The operation was headed up by a curator from the Museum of Fine Arts. Now that museum is planning to x-ray the box before they open it sometime next week, and we all get to find out what exactly is inside. And amid ongoing pressure from state lawmakers, Uber and Lyft continue to recruit extra drivers. Now, both ride-sharing companies offer nice incentives for new drivers, but as we're starting to find out, the quick cash up front is costing some drivers in the long run. Property Casualty Association of America spokesman Frank O'Brien says Bay State drivers should read the fine print inside of their car insurance policies. A regular private passenger auto insurance policy excludes drivers who use their vehicle to transport people for money. If drivers are involved in an accident, it's a good chance the insurance company will fight the claim and will not cover the accident. Now, both Uber and Lyft say their partner drivers are covered under each company's $1 million policy, but O'Brien warns those policies might not be valid in Massachusetts.